Hey guys, it's Jake here. Today we're going to have a look at these tanks behind me. You've seen the water skink one before, but I've got two others, and we're also going to take a look at a couple other tanks that we've recently set up as well. So let's flip the camera around and take a look. Okay, now before we get into the tanks over here, let's just quickly take a look at this one. There's currently nothing in here. This is a bioactive setup, obviously. Oh, I always forget that needs to fully unlock. This is a bioactive setup. It's just got some ivy, it's got some tiger eye grass and a few other plants as well. This is going to be set up for a species of a dwarf tree frog. I'll just say it. So this is going to be set up for eastern dwarf tree frogs. I'm getting a group of 5 of them. So that's going to be this tank. It is a 30 by 30 by 45. Not necessarily going to be their permanent tank, but it's definitely what we're going to let them grow out in. And then if we have a look down here, this is also a tank that we've got set up as well. Now this one's not as special. I need to get a few other larger plants for it as well. At the moment we've just got some pothos, variegated and normal. We've got a philodendron and a few other parlor palms and stuff as well, but I want some taller plants. But this is probably going to be for our Blue Mountains tree frogs. Or if I can't get any other plants, it might potentially be for Latoria bicolor, which is the northern dwarf tree frogs. But we'll see what I can get and how I want to set it up. And yeah, but without further ado, whoa! Alrighty, here we have the water skink tank. So I definitely need to clean the glass in this tank because it's really dirty. The tiger eye in this tank didn't do too well. The fern, is still slightly dying off. But the rest are all doing absolutely awesome. Actually, except the panda bamboo as well. It's not doing great. Now the skinks just ran off. I did also just recently move my striped marsh frog pair into this tank too. So they're also in here, which I'll throw up a photo now. They only come out once the lights are off, which is obvious. They're nocturnal, but it's also great getting to see them in here too. We have this tank here. Now this is also a species you haven't seen yet on the channel, but if you follow me on Instagram, you have seen them. Here's one just here. They're actually so inquisitive. Absolutely awesome skinks. Obviously right now they are little babies. Let's just try and get him away a bit. Get him to go to the back there. We've got to keep an eye on them because they tend to like to come to the front. Now this is my colony or a group of 4 white skinks. Now obviously they're still also juveniles. They're nowhere near full size. This tank should be fine to equip and house them for their full size, but I've also obviously got spares and backups that I can get if needed to be upgraded. Their tank inspiration is basically to replicate Wilson's Prom. That's where I first saw these guys in the wild, and I know there's a good colony of wild white skinks there. So I sort of went for that theme. So usually when we're going up to the good lookout, you walk along there and there's a few burrows and holes which contains the white skink. So that was my inspiration behind this tank. So we've got a few coastal grasses and this native carpeting plant as well, and obviously some leaf litter and some sticks and so on to just try and match or replicate as close to possible I can for these guys. And then this here is a universal rock fake foam rock. Pretty cool. I'm quite happy with how this turned out. Down below that we have this tank here. Oh, there we go. That's the inhabitants. This tank is obviously by no means their full-time tank. This is just temporary because the Pagona Henry Lawsoni, the black soils or ranickin or pygmy bearded dragons will outgrow this tank. That's a given. They don't stay this small. They do get about double this size, but for the time being this is meant to replicate their habitat and what they're usually found in. And once they outgrow this, I'll probably end up moving my thick-tailed gecko pair into this tank as well, which for the thick-tails, this will be an absolute mansion. But for the time being, the pygmy beardies do live in here. Hey. Now they're all off exploring and enjoying the new setups. So these are all bioactive. They all have their drainage layers. They're all live plants. No artificial plants in these tanks at all. So I do have to water them. Bioactive isn't usually associated with sort of deserty themed tanks. It's more with your tropical tanks like the frog ones I just showed you before. But live plants still look awesome. I can make my lizards in the most natural habitat besides actually being in nature itself. So that's why I love this. This is absolutely awesome. Okay guys, I know that was a bit of a quicker video today, but I was just showcasing these new setups and a few of the other future setups for some future inhabitants as well. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.